Video shows you how to deal with curtain walls on a commercial building. So if you look, I have a commercial building that has a white type of brick, and we want to add a curtain wall for the storefront here. I'm going to go to my level 1. And curtain walls are simply added as a wall type. Make sure you have storefront here selected. You can set the height. In this case, I'm going to change it and put it up to the roof because I want it to go the whole way. Now the trick is here, you need to put it in the middle of the wall. You're not going to put it on the exterior. You need to put it in the middle of the wall. And you'll see that it'll automatically remove the wall and add the storefront. Now, if I want to add another one on the angled wall, I want to show you something. If I click and do the middle wall, see this weird wall going on here? If you click at your 3D view, I'm going to rotate in, you'll see that that actually is there, and there's a wall that's sort of coming at an angle. This is because of the way the wall joint worked. So I'm going to go back to level 1, and I'm going to fix this joint. So right now, let me show you over here, since this wall has not been edited. If I click on this wall, oh no, sorry, I already fixed that one. I forgot. If I click this wall, you see how it extends over, and then this wall comes and joins up. What you can do to fix this is click this button, which is wall join, and you pick the joint where the walls come together. And I'm going to click on this, and instead of having a butt joint, which is where the two ends come together, like the end of one goes to the end of the other, you want a miter, which means they're going to be at an angled cut. So I click that. Do you see how now it gives you an angled cut where the angle is equal on both walls? So now there's a piece of wall here that belongs to this angled wall, rather than this wall extending the whole way over. So that's what was going on there. So now if you look at your 3D view, it should look good, which it does. This type of joint also allows you to dimension a little bit easier. So if you want to dimension, I'm going to delete that one and come back in, and if you dimension right to that joint, then this will allow you to, if you click this wall, move that joint. I know some students were struggling with this model, getting these to be equal sizes, and that's because of the type of joint that they had in there. All right, so now if you look, I can also dimension this one to be 28, and now my walls are equal. Okay, now what I want to do is add a door to the storefront. So I'm going to go to my front elevation, which in this case is the north elevation. I like looking at this in color, or shaded at least, although the blue's a little bit much to handle. All right, now in this case, there's not a center to the door, so I actually would go in and change the size of the curtain wall, or you can change the size of the glass panels in between, but I just want to show you how to delete these, how to add a door. I'm actually going to take it back off of that. I can't look at that. So before you delete, if you look, these are all set up. Each one of these panels is set up by Revit so that it automatically spaces the panels. So that's why they're pinned. Okay. I decided to show you how to change the number of panels here just to get it all done in one video. So what you would want to do is select so that you get the box around the entire storefront. Hit edit type. We're going to duplicate this just so that you always have your original. I'll just call it storefront 2 for now. And now this is the spacing options for the grid. Something you will want to experiment with, but what this is this is the spacing. I know it says vertical grid, but what it's saying is the distance between the verticals can be no more than 5 feet. So that's the maximum spacing. To force it to be one more panel, I'm going to just make it a number that's somewhat smaller than that. I'll hit OK, and you'll see we now have 6. However, while I'm here, I don't like that there's this little bit of a window here. That doesn't make much sense. So I'm going to edit that. And instead of saying fixed distance, which means that every panel is going to be 8 feet, and then you've got this little extra, why don't we change it to, say, maximum spacing and make it a little bit bigger. I don't know, how about 4 inches bigger, and then that should probably cover that. Yep, so now we have 4 instead of 3. If you don't like that, you could force it to be a little bit different. So let's make this a little smaller, and then we can see if it will force it to be, see what 7 feet does. Nothing. You can play with that. I don't want to waste your time here and do that, but if you want to play with that so that they're bigger. Now what I want to show you is to edit out this area so that we can put a door right in the middle. You're going to want to pick each individual mullion, they're called, and this is what I was talking about. They're pinned because they are defined by Revit. Once you start messing with this, the automatic fill might not work as well. You might want to be careful of that, but unpin them each and then delete. You don't want these mullions or to separate the glass. And if you're putting a door in there, the door will come with its own features. So now what you need to do is, this is just a line that sets the curtain wall. You need to first you have to unpin it. Is it? Yes, it's pinned. Okay. And now click this. Okay. So again, you're going to click on the add remove segment, then click the line. I did it backwards a moment ago. So now what you wanted was that this dashed line is now gone, which means instead of this being 2 panels, it's only going to be 1 panel. So now what you need to do is select this area of the storefront. And you might have to hit tab a couple times. There we go. Oh, I saw it. Alright, so now I got that selected. You're going to want to unpin it. And now you want to add the double door. Which we do not have loaded into this project yet, so I'm going to take a second and do that. Okay, so now I loaded the door in. I'm going to reselect this entry. If you're having trouble selecting it, hover over this mullion and then just keep hitting the tab until you get to the panel that you want. And that is it. So now I'm going to click. Still unpinned from before. You should be able to add the door in now that, oh my goodness, where did it go? Thought I loaded it. Hold on. Alright, one last try. I'm going to again tab over this until I get there. Click it. Now you don't have to go to door. This is what I was doing wrong. Just click here and scroll up until you find this storefront double door. And it will be automatically sized for that opening, as you can see. So now if you go to your 3D view, you'll see we now have an opening in our curtain wall.